Perfect. We're perfect timing. Everybody's used to us right about 2 or 3.
Right,
or so
exactly.
That's perfect.
Yep, live.
We are on?
Yep.
All right. Hi, everyone. Happy Hump Day. It is Hump Day already. I know. It's amazing. We're approaching the end of April. It's starting to get nice.
I know, it's crazy.
It was actually almost light when I got up this morning.
We had nobody left. Oh, one. Here's one. Yay. I know, when it's light when you get up and light when it's almost bedtime.
Yes,
I love
right.
it.
Yeah, I do too. Except I have to stay up later then.
Oh.
I usually like to go to bed about 8, 7:30.
Yeah?
Now it's so light outside, you can't go to bed that early.
You need
I feel guilty.
light darkening drapes or whatever.
Awesome.
That's what we have in all of our bedrooms. Oh, blackout curtains. Yes.
Yes.
Best thing ever. You could sleep in the middle of the day and you wouldn't know the difference.
No, that's right. It's always nighttime. That's perfect.
It's great.
So, well, welcome everybody. Today, Paula has a new quilt. You're going to be doing some wild ducks.
Yeah, well, that's one version. Wild ducks, flying geese, you know.
That's right. It's called what? Wild Goose?
Wild Goose Chase.
Wild Goose Chase. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of fun.
We
Is
showed
it.
it.
All about flying geese then?
It is flying geese. We showed it on Comments Sold last Friday, but I'm showing you how to do it today. And then we have another colorway, like
really?
a dark colorway, like a his and hers.
Oh, well, there you
Yeah.
go. That's right.
So
We
yeah,
got
that's what we're gonna
goose
do.
and
Oh, that could be trouble.
Yeah, it could be trouble. You know, a bunch of little geese running around.
Did you know that doves mate for life?
Do they really?
We have a pair of doves that come and make a nest in our tree every.
Ducks do too, by the way.
Do they?
Did you know that, mallards?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why they get so sad when they die. Yeah, have you
Oh.
ever seen a little mallard duck when they're...
No, don't break my heart.
I know.
Stop.
It makes me sob. I'm like, I know, the poor thing.
But we have a pair of doves who come every year and make a nest in our backyard tree and have their two little babies every year.
No way.
Yep. It's awesome.
That's awesome. How do you know that? Did you get their names?
No, but they come to the exact same spot.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. It's really awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
My wife made me put up those little spikes so the rabbits can't come and yeah,
Make a mess.
I know.
Yeah.
So it makes me sad now if I'm taking away a dove's home.
Yeah, don't be doing that. I know.
Exactly.
Okay, we digress.
Exactly. Let's get back on track. So, just a couple of quick announcements. We are in the middle of National Serger Month. So just in case all of you didn't know that. And again, we have some fabulous deals on our sergers. So you make sure if you want to, we've got some Euphorias from Baby Lock, brand new in the box that we've got a really discounted price on. I've got a trade-in at $7.99 too. So again, it's all about sergers this month, and we would love to help you improve your sewing room. If you wanted to give us a call, again, we've got specials on all of the sergers, very special deals. $44.99 on the Triumph.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Very sweet deal.
Yeah, it's the best one I've ever. They say they can't hear you, but so flip your mic up a little bit.
Uh-oh, they can't hear me?
Yeah. Use your
It says I'm on.
use your loud inside voice.
That's right, exactly. So hopefully they can hear me now. So we do have the mic on, so hopefully, and it's got the green lights on. So
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully
Okay.
you can all hear me.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. Again, if you have any interest at all in upgrading your sewing room, make sure you call us. We would love to help you. We can ship all of the Baby Lock sergers, which is very, very cool. Even the Applaud, the brand new Applaud that has that top cover.
Oh, nice.
Consent. Yeah, exactly. So with that, I think we're going to get started. I do have a giveaway.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
I've already
guys,
forgot who you're talking about.
If the mic's going in and out, sorry. I don't know what we can do, but we'll use our outside voices.
Yeah, we'll try. We might unplug it. We understand that we're having trouble with it on Monday too.
Somebody said something. Yeah.
Well,
Barbara Brady.
Barbara Brady. Barbara, hopefully you can hear me. So
That's super cute.
Beautiful wall hanging is going to go to you. It's very cool. Which company is this? Do you know? I've never seen this before.
I don't. It was. I think somebody donated it.
Yeah, but anyway, it is a tree full of words.
Lucky her.
Yeah, it's very cool. So again, that's Barbara going to you. We will have it. Do we ship to her, don't we?
No, she comes here to Thornton, and we have something else for her too, so we'll put it in her bag.
Oh, perfect. All right, good deal. Congratulations, Barb.
Congratulations. Woohoo!
I've got a couple of jokes. And I hope I can find them now. There they are. I think I've already told them, though. Tell me if I have.
Okay.
You'll know.
Okay.
You ready? All right. So a man walked into a bar and saw an old friend dejectedly nursing a drink.
You know how many jokes start like that? So you're just gonna have to finish it.
That's right. All right. You look terrible, the man said. Well, my mother died in March and left me $10,000, the friend replied. And then in April, my father died and left me $20,000. Oh, geez, that's tough, losing both parents in 2 months. Well, and then to top it off, the friend said, my aunt died last month and left me $50,000. How sad. Well, tell me about it, the friend continued. So far this month, nothing.
Oh, jeez. That took me about a half a second. Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's too good.
That's pretty funny.
I wasn't sure if I had said that one before.
I don't know that I've heard that one, but that
that's
doesn't
good.
mean anything.
Well, and I'll save my other one for tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's perfect.
All right.
You ready to get
Okay,
rolling?
I'm ready. I'm super excited. Can we rotate?
We can rotate.
Okay. All right. So on Friday we showed this quilt pattern. This is a free pattern by Robert Kaufman called Wild Goose Chase, and I saw this.
This
and
is
I
really cool.
Loved it.
And it all makes sense now. I can see why it's called Wild Goose Chase.
Yep, because they're chasing each other.
They are chasing each other all over that quilt. Yes, that's awesome.
Yes. So we do have kits for this. They are $59.99. It's everything you need for the top and the binding.
Perfect.
So we're going to put this away and go to the next one, okay? So keep this in mind.
Keep that one in mind.
Okay.
You guys all got a mental picture of it. That's good.
This is the free pattern, Robert Kaufman. And it's called
Is that on the website already?
We link to it. On
Okay,
our
cool.
calendar
All right.
today.
Yep.
Yes.
So again, free quilt today, everybody. This is really cool.
This quilt measures 50 inches by 60 inches.
And it actually looks pretty easy.
It's
Is it
way
easy?
easy. You make 24 gigantic flying geese.
A gigantic goose. That's the
Yes,
best.
and they go so fast. It's great.
These aren't your Canadian geese. These are. That's perfect.
These are geese.
That's
Okay.
that's right.
So the one we are making today, so we do have kits for that one, $59.99.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
All right. And that's those colors.
That's these colors. This is
Yes.
the hers version.
Oh, the hers.
This is the his version.
Oh, this is cool.
It's going to have the navy blue
Yeah, look at
background.
that. Those are beautiful.
And then all of these colors are going to be the flying geese, and this is the binding. So let's go ahead and pull this out.
$59.99 for this entire kit, which is awesome. Are you going to do the blue one today?
I am.
Are you? Cool.
Yep. I've already got it started because we only have an hour.
That's a good point.
So this is the background for the blue
Perfect.
version. This is the binding. And then you're going to use these fabrics to make the flying geese.
Good deal.
The pattern is extremely generous with fabric. Like they called for a quarter yard of 12 fabrics to make the flying geese, which leaves you with a ton left over.
Oh, good.
So actually our kit, we were a
Make
little
mini
more
geese?
frugal.
You got little
No,
baby
same size
geese?
geese. But instead of 12 fabrics, it has 10. And instead of quarter yards, it has 7-inch strips, which still gives you plenty of fabric.
Perfect.
We just wanted to be a little more cost effective,
There you go. Good.
you know? Okay, so this is what we're doing today. Let me kind of move some of this stuff.
And it's got cutting instructions and everything in this
Got
pattern?
cutting instructions and everything.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, like I said, that is beautiful, and I would love to. I can't wait to see it done.
And I can't wait. This is gonna be really fun.
So, did you quilt this again?
I did.
Wow, you were just so good.
It was really fun to do because it's kind of a
Yeah, it's a.
not very busy background, so I wanted to do something a little bit extra.
That's fun.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the cutting and the piecing of this quilt, okay? So you're going to make a total of 24 flying geese. When you cut out this we'll go over the directions. You actually need to cut this piece and this piece lengthwise. So you just have one big long rectangle.
Oh, seriously?
And one big long rectangle. Instead of doing all the little cutting and then piecing everything together.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do today. So this is kind of the original fabrics that they use, just to kind of give you an idea. Read all the words.
I'm out. Sorry. If you want me to follow directions, you got the wrong guy.
This is Above and Beyond's motto.
Read all the words.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's very funny, actually.
So, for the this is fabric A, is the navy blue.
Big one, yes.
It's the big one. So you're going to take, instead of cutting out, like with the fabric strips like we often do, and then sew those strips together to make longer strips, what you need to do is, this says to, from 60.5 inch length of fabric, you're going to cut these pieces, okay? I actually cut mine about 62 to 63 inches to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. There's plenty in the kit.
Okay.
Plenty of fabric. So we're going to take and we're going to cut these 2 length of fabric strips, okay?
Cool.
So.
I like big pieces like that, Paula. This is my kind of
this
quilt.
Just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That's right. Awesome. That's awesome.
Okay. So here's your big, long length of
gargantuan.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to cut 1 20.5 inch strip, 1 10.5 inch strip, and 2 5.5 inch strips, all lengthwise.
Oh, wow.
This is in the directions. It's very clear.
Okay.
Okay.
You need a giant cutting table.
No, this is what you need to do. I'm going to show you what to do.
Oh. No, they need a giant cutting table.
I think we can find you one. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to use the fold of your fabric.
Yes, Patty, this is the same one that we sold on comments sold on Friday. Yes. So this is just a demonstration of that quilt.
In a different colorway.
In a different colorway, right. Yes.
Right. So I've actually, well, we'll get there. So I got my 63.5 inch length of fabric. I cut it, okay? 63 inches, 62.5, whatever. You're going to lay it out with the fold to one side, your selvages to one side, okay? And then you folded it in half once, and you've got your fold down here, okay?
Cool, okay.
When you cut lengthwise, you have to be sure to make sure you've got your fold and your fold down here, and you're going to use this fold as your guide. Otherwise, your long length of fabric is going to go
Uh-oh, yeah.
Okay?
We don't like Nope.
So what you have to do is, first we're going to cut off the selvages. You need to take your edge of your ruler and you need to line it up
perfectly
on this fold that you have folded yourself.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm kind of eyeballing it. I'm going to move this. I'm kind of eyeballing it to give myself enough to make sure I've cut off I'm going to cut off all of the selvages. You can see how some selvages are fatter than other.
Yeah, yes.
This one's pretty fat, so I just want to make sure that I'm giving myself enough room. You've got enough room here to cut everything you need. So I've lined up my ruler. That's the most important thing. Okay.
Perfect.
Now I'm going to start cutting off my selvage. And so from here, you just have to make sure that you line up your ruler along this cut edge really accurately and carefully.
Okay.
If you do all this, then you will have a straight cut.
Yep.
Okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is cut a 20.5 inch strip. So now, I'm trying to think the best way to do this.
Yes.
Let's look at this. So we're cutting a 10.5 inch strip, a 20.5 inch strip, and then from the remainder of the length of fabric, cut 2 5.5 inch strips. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to cut the 2 5.5 inch strips next. That's the easiest way to do it, I think.
All right.
So again,
we're going to go fold.
And I've got the selvages that I just cut off. I'm going to put them on the left-hand side because I'm right-handed.
Make sure that's
Make sure
all
it's
lined
all
up
lined
even.
up.
And yes, Melinda, T-Rex arms are not good when you're trying to do this. You need extra long arms.
T-Rex arms. Pretty funny. Okay, so 2 5.5-inch strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So I'm going to line up my 5.5 on this cut that I just made from cutting off the selvages. Okay.
And
I'm cutting 2 5.5-inch strips.
okay, so you're going to need to make 2 of those cuts.
Well, I was
thinking it's full. Oh, you did double it.
doubled.
Okay, good.
It's still-
Okay.
see, it's
See,
still
that's
folded
what
over
I'm
here.
wondering.
It's
Yes.
still folded over here.
Now I'm following you.
Okay.
Hi, Amy from Florida. How are you today?
Okay, so here's our 2 5.5-inch strips. Okay. Oops. Okay, we're just going to put these aside for a second.
Good.
So now from this, we need to cut a 10.5-inch strip
And
a
a 20.5-inch strip. I remember that.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm
Oh,
going to
wow.
open it up.
Oh, because
Okay.
we just have one now.
Now, because we just need to cut one 20.5-inch strip and one 10.5-inch strip.
You know, it all seems so logical when I watch you do it. I would be so confused without you.
That's why we're
Have
doing
you
it.
noticed that?
Just a little bit. Just a teeny weeny tiny
That's
bit.
right.
Okay, so I just got to make sure that there's no wrinkles, no folds. I want to make sure that this cut line that I've just cut is nice and straight.
Length of fabric is a little trickier
It
than
is
just
a little-
regular, isn't it?
is. You really have to kind of really truly like measure twice before you
Cut
cut.
once, yeah.
Yeah, but you can always sew stuff back together again and cut it again.
Or just buy more yardage.
It's never the end of the world, you know. Buy more yardage. Okay, so now I'm going to find my
20.5.
20.5. And what I'm going to do...
We're on the edge here.
We're on the edge here. I'm going to line up my ruler on the fold here. Here's my 20.5, okay? But as you can see, my ruler's not long enough. So what I actually do, and I do this at home...
Now you need a large cutting table and 2 rulers.
Or if you have one of those 36.5-inch, those long, skinny 2.5 by 36.
Oh, yeah. That's
rulers,
nice.
If you have one of those,
I was wondering what you use those for.
and we don't, so I don't.
That's all right. Yeah, we got those in and then they like disappeared and I don't think we ever brought them back.
I had one floating around for a while, but I think we sold it.
Yeah,
So
oh, yeah.
this is what I did. So I've got my 20.5-inch here, okay? And I'm going to run it straight up here. I'm going to lay my rulers together, and then I'm going to line up
The half.
my 20.5-inch
Yep,
here.
got it.
Okay?
T-Rex arms. Good job, Paula.
Okay? All right. So there's our 20.5. Now, the last one is the
10.5.
10.5. So I got keep my
Edges straight.
edges straight.
And just so happens we got enough fabric.
Yeah,
Good work there, Paula.
It's pretty close. So when you start out cutting off your selvages, just make sure you're pretty careful.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna cut our 10.5-inch. So again, I'm gonna lay my fold. Got my cut. Got on my fold here, 10.5.
Perfect.
Then I'm gonna do this again. Make sure I got my 10.5 up here. Okay.
So Kim wants to know, could you fold it again and cut through 4 layers, but you wouldn't want to do that in this instance because it has to be length of fabric.
And you just, right.
Yes, okay. So because we're only cutting one strip of this,
strip.
Kim, so you're going to just need to do on these larger cuts, you're going to need to do 1 fold on those.
Right. But for those, we had to cut 2 5.5-inch strips, so that's
Correct.
why I
Yeah,
left
that's
it
why
layered.
you folded. Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay, so there's our 20 and there's our 10. There's half our quilt right there.
There you go. Look at that. We're
I
all
love
done.
that.
That's right.
Okay, so from those 2 5.5-inch strips, you're going to cut 20 5.5 inch.
Did you notice Paula was reading every
All the
word?
words.
All the words. She was reading all the words.
So from these two strips, you're going to cut 20 5.5 inch strips, okay?
20?
20. Because you need a total of 48.
Or 25. 25.5 inch strips or 25.5 inch strips.
20 5.5 inch strips.
Sorry,
So
I'm just doing my usual thing. I'm just messing with you.
So we need 20. Such a dork. 25.5 inch squares from these two long strips, okay?
Yep.
And I'm actually only going to cut a few because I've already pre-cut a whole bunch. So then after you've cut that big length of fabric, that 60 and a half or 62 or whatever you decide to cut it, you're still going to have enough fabric left. And we didn't because I pre-cut mine already to pre-cut to pre-sew some stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You're going to have enough of those, enough of that blue fabric left from the remaining yardage. You're going to cut 4 5.5 by width of fabric strips, regular 5.5 inch strips, not
Perfect.
lengthwise,
Okay.
regular.
I see.
And you're going to cut the rest of your 5.5 inch squares. You need a total of 48 5.5
wow.
inch squares.
That's lots. Yep.
Because you're making 24 flying geese.
Well, that makes sense then.
So you need double.
And they're big.
And they're big. Look
They're
how big
giant
they are.
geese. That's right.
And I only need to cut 6. So you're going to cut till you have 48 5.5 inch squares.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
So now what we're going to do, I have a surprise.
Oh, we got a surprise. This day just keeps getting better and better. She's over there digging under the machine for her surprise.
Oh, let's do this next part first, real quick. From your 10 fabrics, you need to cut a total of 24 5.5 by 10.5 inch rectangles. That's what you're going to make your flying geese out of.
Oh, okay.
From your fabrics, you're going to cut 24 5.5 by 10.5 inch rectangles for the flying geese.
Okay.
Okay. They gave you a tip to cut 5.5 by width of fabric strips and then subcut your rectangles. You're going to have extras.
Okay.
But you only need 24.
24
24 5.5 by 10.5 inch rectangles. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So then these are what we're going to use to make the background of the flying geese, right?
Yes.
Right. So from these, we're going to draw, because usually I use the laser,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but these are so gigantic that I'm going to go ahead and draw a diagonal line. And then when you go to sew these on the rectangles, that's a big, huge piece left over.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah.
So what I did,
This
something
is the
I
surprise.
don't usually do, is I drew another line, a 1/2 inch away from the original line. I sewed a seam on both drawn lines. Then you cut it apart in between the drawn lines. That gives you 48 big triangle squares.
Wow.
Because normally on flying geese, you kind of cut this off and then you throw it away.
Yeah, exactly.
But these are big. Look how big these are.
Yeah, they're giant.
They're huge.
You can do all kinds of things with those.
Yeah,
Yes.
so what I did is
You just made your own.
I just drew up a bunch of layouts. You have 48 triangle squares.
And this is just what you're going to do with the scraps.
And this is what you can do with the scraps that you cut off of your flying geese.
No way.
Yeah. So these are just a bunch of different layouts. This is also linked up on our calendar. Just to give you some ideas to play with your triangle squares to build maybe some table runners.
Talk about that is
Because
just...
look how much extra fabric that is.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of extra when you cut
Yes,
off all
it
those
is.
flying
Yeah,
geese.
that's awesome.
Okay. So this is on the calendar. Okay.
Good deal.
Okay.
That's just a little bonus project. Good job, Paula.
So we are just going to draw a couple more lines, and then we're going to go sew some flying geese. So I'm drawing right corner to corner, and then I'm drawing another line a 1/2 inch away, and I'm going to sew on both lines, and then I'm going to cut right
In the
down
middle.
the middle.
And you're going to... That is just You were so smart.
Well, normally I don't do this because normally flying geese that I make are smaller, and I seriously just don't have time to be fussing around doing stuff like that. When I'm on a mission to make flying geese, I'm like, get her done. You know, I'm literally like.
So you're actually making 2 quilts in one here.
You're literally making a quilt and then a bonus project.
A bonus, that's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That is a very cool thing.
And we're just gonna do 6 of these. So you make your flying geese, you make 24 flying geese, and then you're gonna lay them out in 2 rows of 12. With them flying one direction and then the other row flying the other direction. And then you sew those rows together, sew on those little side panels, and bada bing, bada boom.
That's right. You got a
quilt.
and a bonus quilt. So how did you just sort of did that in your head?
Did what?
Your little sample
The
runner
little
things.
thingies?
Yeah.
Oh, just playing around, yeah.
Huh. That's so impressive.
Okay.
We ready?
Let's go sew some geese.
All right. I love goose sewing.
Okay. So I have already made 1 row of flying geese.
Oh, look at that.
So you have
That
12,
is really cool.
12 going one way, 12 going the other way. I love this colorway.
Yeah, me too, by the way.
My
Yeah,
husband saw these.
it is way more masculine, that's for sure. Yeah. But it's pretty. It's very, very nice.
It's kind of classic, kind of. So then I've made 6.
You know, Julie, well, let me look into that. Did we have the 1.5 inch square Quilter Select ruler? Is it 1.5 inch square? Is that what she's? Yeah, I think that's what she's looking for.
1.5 inch by 12 inch.
Maybe.
For like know. To draw the lines.
I don't know. Good question.
Okay. So I already made a few more flying geese as well.
Okay.
Okay. So we are just gonna finish
the second row.
The second row. If I can find my pieces.
Yeah, the colors are really nice, Gail. I like them too. Again, this we do have 2 color waves. We do have kits for this. This is a free quilt, by the way. So this is from who?
From Robert Kaufman.
Robert Kaufman.
The pattern is actually in the kit if you buy the kit.
And here is the we do have this on our website. We do have kits also.
There's
$59.99. And you just need to, if you want one of the kits, let us know and make sure you let us know the color wave that you want.
Right. The one is just the regular Wild Goose Chase. The other one is called Wild Goose Chase Navy.
Navy, okay.
So that's
good.
how you can differentiate.
That's perfect.
Okay? All right. So let's make some flying geese. All that prep work, but then it's going to be so great. Okay. So
it always is.
Make sure because you've drawn, if you do what I did and draw the double lines, make sure that the corner to corner line is in the corner.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then the one that's a half an inch away is towards the outside corner.
Okay, that's right.
See,
otherwise, you're going to have
if you do this,
a wounded duck.
You're going to have a pretty sad
Yeah, it is going to be a sad goose.
Because he's going to be all cut up.
That's right.
Okay? So make sure. And what I did is I chain pieced all the centers, and then I clipped it, and then I went back and I chain pieced all of these, then I trimmed them, and then I went back and I trimmed everything.
Cool.
So that's what we're going to do, okay?
I can't wait to see how this turns out. Paula just turned her speed up.
we have things to do.
That's right. We've got lots to go.
No dilly-dallying around here.
No way.
And we're just going to make 6. I've already made 12 for the one row and then 6 for the second row. So we're just going to make 6 more. We're going to sew them together.
Do you have to have those in any combination? The large rectangles. Does it matter? Or are you going to just set those up?
I laid them out so I can.
Oh, did you?
And that's
I
what we'll
see.
do. We'll go arrange them on a
Oh,
table.
cool. Okay.
Or I had a design wall at home, but you can do it on the table or on the floor. I choose the table so I can, get up.
That's right. Because, yeah,
The floor is a little challenging.
getting down on the floor is okay. It's getting up from the floor is the, tricky part. Susan, yes, we do sell Frixion pens. We do, normally we sell them in the multi-packs. And I think they're like $21.99 and you get 7-8 pens in there.
Something like that. Yeah, and they are actually up on the website as 20% off today.
Yes, so just funny you should ask. So we do have those on the website as under the Facebook Live products. Again, you go to aboveandbeyondsewing.com, go to Facebook Live products, and we'll have them up there for you if you wanted to purchase them from us. That's right, Barb. You have places to go and people to see, Paula.
I'm not kidding you. When I was sewing this extra line, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a labor of love. I can do this. I can do this. Normally when I'm done, I just chop it off with scissors. I don't measure, and then I just throw it away.
That's funny.
So. But these are big.
These are big geese.
You're kind of ashamed
This
of
is
throwing these big pieces.
They're almost turkeys.
Yeah, it's true.
We got flying turkeys and flying ducks and flying geese.
And flying geese. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm just going to sew on the other line that I drew.
Oh, yeah, Julie. I think do we have the 1.5 by 12 is what she was talking about.
I don't know if we do or not. I used a 2.5. I know we have that, but I don't know if we have a 1.5. We might.
Yeah, and if we do, I'll send it to Littleton for you, dear. Yes. I can't wait for you to cut this because I really want to see those bonus blocks. You know, I almost get angry watching you sew that easy.
That's funny. Yeah, don't. Please don't. Don't spend your
how
energy.
can you do that so fast and so accurately? And it's, yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, hey there, Karen. Yeah, Texas geese. That's right, Julie.
There you go. And I'm actually going to go use the rotary cutter and the ruler to make sure that I'm
I want to. I can't go with you. This will be fun.
Normally I just kind of hack away at with the scissors, but I'm just going to center it.
And it's a 1/2 inch, so we got 1/4 inch everywhere.
1/4 inch everywhere. Yep.
Evelyn says she has 2 geese in her backyard, and they're all screaming right now.
I don't mind geese. I like geese, except, man, they're messy. They leave mess.
Yes, they
behind.
are.
Ugh.
Yeah, especially on a golf course.
Yep. They're on a running trail or something. Ugh.
Yeah, this is really fun. So she literally, with one sew there.
Oh, look at that. I sewed it upside down.
Oh, that is awesome.
Don't say that. Gosh.
That's perfect. See, that's what I get when I talk to you.
So that one's inside out. So
I can distract anybody.
See, just press those babies open and then look.
Look
and
at
then
that. You got a whole block there.
You can trim it down to 4.5. Gets a little over 4.5. Then they'll finish at 4.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we're going to pick this stupid triangle off.
Oops.
That's all your fault.
That's right. I was going to say, I'm distracting to anybody.
But because I was so careful to sew them on and not hack off the 1/4 inch, they'll be really easy to resew.
Yeah, Kim, I think they did show the iron off pencil from OESD on Comment Sold. And
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah.
had those. Yeah, those are kind of cool, actually. They're magic pencils.
And I don't think we had any in stock. I think we.
Yeah, we did sell out on
sold
those, but
out
we
like
do have them. Yeah,
crazy.
we actually, those were very, very popular.
I think we have more coming. Or maybe we have some, I don't know, but they were crazy popular.
And they were, especially, yeah, because they are white.
They're white. They
and
show really well.
they're really good on the dark fabrics.
Yep. Okay. One more time.
You just needed the practice.
Silly triangle. That's not what I would say if I was home alone. Because we're pretty
That's very
accurate.
funny. We are very accurate.
It's going to be pretty, and I haven't pressed it, so I still have my pink line. I can still just sew right on that line, and I should be good to go.
And you've already cut.
So
this is just a pre-cut goose.
So you have to be super careful because now you've got that stretchy bias because you cut.
Oh,
So you have to
wow.
be be super careful if you do this to not stretch while you are sewing it again. Okay, so now we're just going to press these open, and I'm just going to press to the blue.
Oh, cool.
And then we'll do the whole thing again on the other side.
Oh, and you're going to do 2 lines on the other side, and you're going to have a whole new set of blocks, right?
I will have 6 more blocks, and I did one.
Yeah,
in one
yeah, that's
direction and one in the
okay.
other direction.
I meant for your bonus project.
Oh.
You know, I'm more excied about the bonus
Yeah,
project than...
They're just silly little triangle squares. You're funny.
It is a silly goose.
Okay, so now I'm going to take our last 6. Gonna lay them the other way. Make sure you got your lines going the right
Oh, there you go.
direction.
That's right.
And you got
We need to go one
you got your corner
to
in
a
the corner. Okay.
That's one thing about these Facebook Lives. You guys have to be expert on flying gooses at this point. We do so many flying geese.
We do.
Yeah. All sizes, too. We do small flying geese, big flying geese.
We do. This was funny when I was working on this because I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a couple flying geese. And then I made them, and they were so fast. So I was like, okay, just a couple more. Okay, I'm just going to make 12. Okay, I'm just going to make all 24. Because they just went so fast. Okay, and then I'm just going to lay them out.
There you go. And you
Okay,
got it
then
all.
I'm
I'm
just
just going to
gonna-
do the whole quilt. That's perfect. Yep. Michelle, we definitely have different different sizes of geese.
One of these days I should, we could talk about how to do the math. If you know what
Oh, we
flying
could-
geese you want, you could figure out how to make the measurements. to
You
cut
could
your
do one of
pieces.
those quilts. Those are very, very fun. Where you do the jumbo size.
Yeah.
Just multiply everything by 4.
Yeah. Or 3 or whatever.
That's right.
But there is a mathematical equation to making flying geese.
Were you good at math?
Oh,
In
God,
school?
no. Oh, I hate math.
That's funny. Quilting is all math, though, so
Yeah, but it's like-
you guys all amaze me.
But it makes sense, math. I mean, there's only so many which ways you can do something. Geometry, there's like the negatives and the positives and the pretends and the,
There you go.
the hypotheticals and that all stuff just I can't do.
X1, Y1
Oh,
squared
dear God.
with an exclamation point.
I barely got through math through high school. I had to get tutored with my math in college. Oh,
Rosie, I'm doing my best to distract her, so she'll do it again.
yeah, thanks. Well, if it happens, it's too late. Gonna have upside down goose.
If there isn't a mistake made on live, I didn't do my job. That's why it's so much easier when I sew, because I guarantee the mistake.
Okay. We're going to run over. We're going to cut them again real quick. We're going to press them real quick. And then we will lay them out.
And make our next row.
Make our next row. If we're not boring everybody to tears.
No, we're doing good. They're hanging in there with us.
Because now is the fun part, laying them out.
Oh, that's right. Good job.
I really like
We're going to have to...
2.5-inch ruler. It's a great size. What?
We could do the demo dudes and make something out of these blocks, because I really like those blocks.
You go.
Rich would have a blast with that.
Okay, so here we go. So in the end, you will have 48.
Look at that.
Triangle
48
squares.
triangle squares where we could just have fun.
Just lay them out, move them around, play around. Okay, we're gonna press, and then here, just stay right there. We're just gonna press, and then we're gonna go over to the table.
Oh, we're gonna do our layout table.
We're gonna lay it out on the table over there.
Okay, cool.
Unless you want to get down on the floor, you go right ahead.
I told you I wouldn't be able to get up. It ain't happening.
2 hours later, we'd be sitting on the floor. So make sure when you're pressing and sewing, because these are long diagonal seams, when you press that you don't stretch, that you're very gentle, so you don't stretch these
gentle
out.
press.
Yes.
We got our layout table here.
Okay. So we got this one. Now,
So are you going to make them the same, or do you like a vary?
I didn't. You could.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't because you have 10 fabrics and you need 24 flying geese, so you don't have an even.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Unless you're super careful and planned ahead, and I don't.
I never plan ahead. Oh, so you're going to go the opposite direction.
Opposite direction, and I'm just going to kind of lay them out to just make sure that I get the colors and the textures and everything kind of all spaced out really good.
And you just randomly
I'm just gonna do this, and then if I need to rearrange as I move up or down, I will do that.
I love your fabric selection here. It's
Thanks.
really cool. Again, you guys do such a good job with that.
It's pretty fun. I think Kate and I did this together. It was pretty fun.
Now, are you worried about this one and this one being too close together?
Sure. So let's change it.
I wasn't worried about it, but I was wondering if you would be.
Well, I would stand back and squint and then look and see
Oh,
how
I
that
see.
one's
Okay.
there. So let's put that one there. And then that there. Oh, I made an extra one.
Well, look at that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, they just have to be sewn together. They're just way spread out.
Oh, I
because
see.
they have to be
Okay.
sewn together.
Yeah, that's going to look good. I like that.
You like that?
Yep.
Stand back and squint.
Look at
Anything look weird?
beautiful.
Okay.
Looks good to everybody, right? And if it doesn't, then just keep your mouth shut.
Okay, so we have to remember this gray one's always on the end.
All right.
I'm going to put a pin in it so I remember that it's always on the end, and then I'm going to add to it as we go.
Perfect. Everybody's giving us thumbs up.
Okay, good. So because I want to remember that this point is the one that's on the edge, I'm just going to put a pin there So
Okay.
as I sew these other blocks, I won't get it turned around and add to the wrong side.
Ah, there you go. Good call.
Okay. So when I go to sew these together, I'm going to sew them so that the point is on the top. Because if you sew it like this, you're kind of
You lose
sewing
that.
blind.
Yes.
But if you sew,
And then you can make sure you
then
get
you can
your
make
points.
sure you get your 1/4 inch seam,
I'm learning that.
or pretty darn close.
I'm also learning that it doesn't matter which way I sew, I'm still sewing blind. So it's all good.
Funny. See what I mean about putting that pin there? Because then you
Yeah,
make sure that
exactly. Make sure that
you've got it going
you're
the
going
right
the right
direction.
direction,
Exactly.
especially the first couple.
Yep.
It's amazing how much difference that 1/4 inch takes off of each of the blocks when you lay them out like that.
Because I really thought I had an extra one
Exactly.
there for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And then when you sew them together, when you press them, you're going to press towards the center point, away from the center point.
Okay.
So if you do that on both rows, when you sew the rows together, these seams are all going to nest, so everything's going to lay nice
We
and
like
straight.
We like nesting and budding and scooching.
Yep, we do. This is a little bit stuck. I'm just going to help it through. There we go.
You need to teach me that, by the way. I do that once every time I sew.
What's that? Get it kind of
Get
stuck
it
when you
stuck
start?
underneath. Yeah, exactly. You did that so easy.
You do it with your little pointy scissors, or you can do it with a stiletto or a seam ripper. If you happen to have a seam ripper around next to you, Patrick.
I should start doing that. Is that what you're telling me?
Get multi-use out of that
That's
seam ripper.
good. Yup.
Oops, I keep on threaded.
Oh, and come. Yeah, I do that about 4 times every sewing too.
But see, they're so gigantic, they go together so fast.
Yes, they
So
do.
lovely.
It's awesome. And this quilt, once you get this part done, it has to go really fast, doesn't
Well,
it?
after this, there's just
Literally 2
1, 2,
seams,
3 seams.
3 seams,
And
just
you're done.
really long seams.
Yeah. 60.5 inches, to
Yeah.
be exact.
That's perfect.
But that's why I overcut those panels, so that I don't, so if I'm not at exactly 60.5 inches, because, you know, you vary a little bit with your seam allowances, you know, then you haven't cut those great big long pieces, and then you're not screwed up if you're a 1/2 inch too short or something, you know.
Yeah.
You can sew those panels on and then even them out and trim them.
So Gail wants to know, do you prefer cotton or embroidery thread for piecing?
I don't piece with embroidery thread.
You don't piece at all with embroidery thread?
I use
That answers that question.
Metler or QS 80 weight.
Oh,
Because
okay.
embroidery thread's a little bit thicker, and so your seam allowance is going to be off because that thread's going to take a little tiny bit of bite out of that seam allowance, and so with every seam, you're going to take just a hair
That's
your seam allowance.
Yeah, and that's why that 80 weight thread is so cool.
Because it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kate occasionally pieces with embroidery thread, but I don't think she'll piece like a whole quilt with it, though. I think she'll just do it for little things sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's in the machine, that's what she uses, kind of, pretty much, is how Kate works. She's always
That's a good point.
She's always in a hurry, too.
Yeah, she's in a big hurry. Yeah, exactly. Talk about places to go, people to see. We're on our last one, I think.
We got
two more. Okay.
Then we're going to quick press, and then we'll just quick lay them out, and then I don't know that we'll sew them together. I don't know what time it is. If anybody wants to see that or not, but it's pretty straightforward at that point.
Yeah, the hardest part is cutting, and then once you get it cut, the rest of it's like, yeah, it's a cool little quilt.
Piecing. Yeah. It's just cutting stuff lengthwise can be intimidating if you've never done it before. So just make sure that you measure twice, or 3 times.
You know what would be even more fun?
What's that?
It's just making it all flying geese, the entire quilt. Is that called something?
A flying geese quilt.
That makes sense. I thought I made something up there.
Pretty sure there's a few of them out there, but good try.
Oops.
But this would be a fun one to do because they're so big it wouldn't take you 5 years because you wouldn't have to make 400 zillion of them. If you were making small 2x4 flying geese or something. I made a Halloween flying geese quilt that's like a twin size, like 15 years ago. Orange and black, and I love it, and I am just now quilting it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh,
just now.
You need to bring that in. I would like to see that, actually.
I will.
That'd be fun. I will show you the other color wave here. Barb, hold on just a second while she finishes that up, because she's going to
Now I'm just going to press real quick.
press. So let's go over, again, we're doing the blue color wave. The navy is what you would see if you wanted to buy a kit. They're $59.99.
So this is how I'm going to press. Let me show you real quick.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to press so that the seam goes away from the center point. So that means, so you just kind of have to guide these little points on the sides. You just kind of have to guide them up. But you want to make sure that that whole seam is going up, and you want to go up all the way.
Perfect.
Okay?
Good deal.
Okay.
All right, and this is going to be the more traditional, well, I don't know if it's traditional or not, but one of them is more female related, I would say. That's very sexist, isn't it? One of them is
More pastel-y.
more pastel-y. That's a good way to look at springy. I like springy too. So this is the springy way of doing it. And then Paula is doing the navy theme. Yes. So those are our 2 color choices for this quilt. It is a free quilt that we have on the website. And the kit, if you like the kit, we're going to send you the pattern with the kit, and it's $59.99. And it is the same thing that we just showed on Comments Sold on Friday. Pretty fun. And that is very true, Brandon. One is definitely way more colorful. This one is a little more tone-on-tone style.
Okay. So let's see. Let's make the top up here, okay?
Top up where?
Up here.
Okay. Yeah, you have to go that way, huh? They're opposites.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, I like that. That's good. It looks so cool, Paula.
That's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, it is. Look at that.
I really like it. And then here is the 10.5-inch panel. It's gonna go. So what you'll do is you'll sew this, and because, like we talked about, because you've pressed all of these seams going up this way, and these seams are going this way, you have a place to match up every single seam.
Fork
so you can
pins.
Keep it really,
Fork pins.
So you can keep it really nice and straight.
And then you got a 10-inch side.
Here, let's go get some more.
We are getting on the floor.
Yeah, but not very much.
Even then, I have trouble getting up. So
the 10-inch panel is going to go on this side.
perfect.
See, so we overcut it. So don't stress about,
So
give yourself a little extra.
Okay, good, yeah.
So then after you get them on and you get it pressed, use your ruler and cut a nice straight edge.
Yeah, you got to lay that out. You guys are going to have to buy this kit because this is a really cool looking quilt. And look at how easy that went together. Yeah, that's very, very cool.
So
I like that
hers.
look. Yeah, his and hers is right. That's really, really pretty.
So fun, so different.
Yeah, that's neat. That's a cool looking setup.
Okay. So you just have 3 more seams. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And
And
then
it all
press
goes
it and
together.
trim it.
Press it, trim it, bind it, and
Bind it.
just perfect.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
All right.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
That was fun.
All right.
Just gotta work out.
That's there you go.
Well, have fun with those chocolate squares. If you have any problems with any of this, just give me a call.
That's perfect.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, everyone. Have a fabulous day. It is Thursday tomorrow. We'll be back. Same bad channel, same bad time.
I might not be here.
Where are you going to be?
I might have jury duty.
Oh, seriously? Oh, bummer.
I know. I
No.
find out tonight.
Well, I hope you get a good trial anyway. You can tell us all about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll spill the beans.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.